What's up, guys? Welcome to another video on Tyriel24 Gaming. Last time we talked about my top 10 favorite Pokemon, so today I thought we'd go to the other end of the spectrum and discuss my least favorite Pokemon. Quick disclaimer with this, I'm not saying any of these Pokemon are bad, and some of you may like these Pokemon, and that's totally okay. I just personally do not like these Pokemon for a variety of reasons, which we will be discussing in this video. So if one of your favorite Pokemon, or even a Pokemon that you really like, shows up on this list, let me know. Make a case, try to defend it. Defend the Pokemon and let me know. Maybe my point of view might change. But without further ado, let's discuss my top 10 least favorite Pokemon. Now, starting off this list, we have Miltank. Those of you who have played Generation 2 and its remakes know what I'm talking about with Whitney and her Miltank. When I was younger, I would always choose Cyndaquil as my starter. I always loved the fire starters. And so I chose Cyndaquil, I evolved it to Quilava, and I went on to face Whitney. And let me tell you, her Miltank and that rollout destroyed Quilava without fail. I tried so hard to beat it. I just could never beat Whitney and her stupid Miltank. I was one of those trainers, one of those people when I was younger. I would only use my starter for battling. So it's kind of the reason why I had issues with it. It's kind of my own fault, but overall, Miltank is a hard Pokemon to defeat that early on in the game. It does have base 105 defense and 95 HP, so it can take a physical hit, and it does hit fast with base 100 speed. So this is why I hated it so much, to be completely honest. There was one time I was playing through Silver, and I struggled with it so much that I actually went ahead and grinded with my Quilava and leveled it up to Typhlosion and evolved it. And was able to beat her pretty easy after that, but let me tell you, that was a lot of work just to get that Typhlosion that early on in the game. So this is kind of the reason why I'm starting off with Miltank. It's just because I've had so many issues with it in the past. Number 9 is going to be Medicham. Medicham is a good Pokemon, do not get me wrong by any means. And on paper, it looks fantastic with Pure Power being its ability, doubling its attack from base 60 to base 120. Fantastic ability. I personally have had issues with it because whenever I have tried using a Medicham on my team, it sucks. I don't know if I just don't know how to use it correctly. I just struggle with it immensely. But every time I battle one, whether it be an NPC in the game or in competitive battles, it would kick my butt. And I don't know what it is and why Medicham hates me. And like I said, its Pure Power transfers over when it evolves into its Mega Evolution too. And it base 100 to base 200 with that. So, like, it's a good Pokemon. I just have never had any luck with it. And so because of this, Medicham is number 9 on this list. Number 8 is Luvdisc. It is not a good Pokemon in terms of battling. It has terrible stats. I mean, base 97 speed is okay, but it is not fantastic by any means. With Swift Swim, it does double it, but it's not very viable. The only reason I kept it so low on this list is because in the game you have a 50% chance of getting a heart scale when you catch it, which is fantastic to use on your other Pokemon to get it to retrain the moves. So because of that, it does make Luvdisc usable, but I don't like it personally, and that's why it's number 8 on this list. Number 7 is going to be Delibird. Delibird I thought was so cool when I was younger to have a Santa Pokemon. I caught it one, and I tried it in battle for the first time. And I throw it out there, and I went, and I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to kick some butt with a Santa thing. And then its only move was Present. I was like, this is a weird move, but let's see what happens. Does Present, heals the opponent. I'm like, I'm not using this Pokemon anymore. Present is its signature move, and it's a gimmick. It's ridiculous. It has a 50% chance of healing the opponent instead of doing damage. So 50% chance that you're going to heal it, it's not worth the risk. I would never use it ever. And its highest base stat is 75 speed. Like, if your highest base stat is 75, you've got some issues. And so this is the reason why I really do not like Delibird. Number 6 is Thor. I struggle with this name, so please forgive me if I said it wrong. I really don't like this Pokemon. When it was introduced in Gen 5, when I was playing through my white version, I would go over to where it was at in the patches of grass to try to grind some Pokemon, and because of its base 120 HP and 100 attack, I would struggle against it early on in the game, and I always thought it was a little unfair that it was that strong early on. And so it would just kind of just wipe through my team. I wouldn't get the experience I wanted, and it got super annoying. And I always felt like him and Swak were always like a redone version, a remade version of Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, the two fighting Pokemon came out together. I just never really cared for them. I don't really care for either of them, but I don't like this one more. I just don't think it's that great of a Pokemon. Number 5 is Unfazed. So whenever I play Pokemon games for the first time, I always choose the generic bird Pokemon at the beginning of the game, whether it be Pidgey or Hoot Hoot or Tailo or Starly. I would use them throughout my playthrough. They always were just usually good Pokemon, and I always liked watching them in the anime, or just they ended up being really good Pokemon overall. And so nothing changed when I first saw Pidove. I was like, oh, here we go. I'll just catch it and use it throughout the game. And Unfazed is just, it's a victim of really bad stats and bad moves. Unfazed is basically, if you look at its stats on paper, it's basically a poor man's version of Staraptor with a little bit more bulk on its defense, its physical defense. It struggles with its move pool. It learns a lot of special moves, but its base special attack is 65. So that's not going to be doing it any good for the moves that it does have, or it can learn. The best move it's going to learn is Sky Attack, really, and that's not a good move at all. It's a 2-turn attack, or I guess you could use Return too, but Return isn't going to do much good either. And so I don't like Unfazed because it kind of screwed me over in my playthroughs with the moves that I learned and not doing as much damage as I thought it should because of how high its base attack is. And that's why I have Unfazed at number 5. Number 4 is Emboar. If you haven't caught on yet, I have this weird hatred for Generation 5. There is still one more Generation 5 Pokemon on this list. Emboar is just not a good Pokemon. I'll just put it like that. It's the 3rd in a row of starter Pokemon being a firefighting type. And I was sick of firefighting by the time 5th generation came around. Blaziken and Infernape ended up being really good Pokemon. Emboar did not even like from the very beginning. It's just a weird Pokemon with weird stat distribution, really high attack, high special attack, low speeds, low special defense, low defense, and really high HP, which I always found to be really weird on it. The only really good thing this Pokemon has going for it is it's shiny. I like the all blue on it. I think it looks really cool. But besides that, I do not like Emboar. Number 3 is Dusperance. Dusperance is not a great Pokemon. I get what it's supposed to be, being like a land snake with mythical backgrounds for its design, but I really just don't care for it. I remember I caught one in silver once and I tried to evolve it. Little did I know it didn't evolve, and I put like a few hours into it trying to get it to evolve, and it was a big disappointment to me. And so because of that, when I was younger, and still even to this day, whenever I see one, I always try to one hit KO it with the strongest move I have and the strongest Pokemon, just because it made me so mad when I was younger because of all that time I wasted on it. Number 2 is the Bidoof and Bibarel line. I decided to put both of them in there because they're both basically the same Pokemon, and I hate both of them equally. I will say this is one Pokemon I do hate. Out of all of them, even though it's number 2, this is the only one I will say I hate. They're just not good Pokemon at all. The one thing that they have going for them, well, one or two things I'll mention on this list, is out of all the basic normal Pokemon that you catch early on in the game, whether it be a Rattata, Sentret, Zigzagoon, and all the other ones, Bunnelby. Yeah. This one is one of 2 that gets a second typing when it evolves. The other one being Diggersby, who gets the ground typing. Bibarel gets the water typing, making it a normal water, which is a really weird combination, if you ask my opinion. It has no use being a competitive battling whatsoever. The only reason I have this Pokemon at number 2 and not number 1 is because earlier on in the games, it is a fantastic HM slave, being able to learn a lot of the HMs outside of like Fly. And so because of this is why it's number 2. Alrighty, number 1. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I have a dislike for 5th generation. I loved 4th generation. I loved all the Pokemon that were introduced, all the old Pokemon that got evolutions. I thought it was fantastic. I loved 4th gen. And then 5th gen came around, and I was severely disappointed in Unova region. It was just a disappointment. And my least favorite Pokemon of all time is going to be Stunfisk. This is just a weird Pokemon to me. It's so derpy, and it's just dumb looking, to be honest. It's a weird fish that is flat, and you can't see it half the time if it would lay completely flat. And I get it's a fish, but I don't understand why it's a ground electric typing. Like, a ground typing makes sense. Like a water ground would make total sense to me, but giving it the electric typing just doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe you guys know why I mentioned in the comments if you do. It's just weird. It's because it gains a ground typing, it gains weaknesses to four other types. Water, which it's supposed to be strong against, grass and ice, and then still weak to ground because of its electric typing. So it gains 3 additional weaknesses by gaining the ground typing and not 4. I guess it has good defenses, and that, yeah, nope, I really don't have much to say about this Pokemon. I really do not like it. It's just dumb. It's a dumb Pokemon to me. Also, it's a fish. How does it learn bounce? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand how this thing can bounce in the air and then attack you the following turn. It just doesn't make any sense. So anywho, thanks for watching, guys. This is my top 10 least favorite Pokemon. Let me know in the comments below which Pokemon you don't like. Let me know in the comments below as well if I mentioned a Pokemon that you personally like, and let me know why you like it. Defend it, and maybe it will change my view. You never know. But again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.